I need the box. Thea, you look like you've seen a ghost. The box. Tales from my RPG campaign, Sea of Secrets. Our heroes, alongside Captain Sana and the crew of the Sea Wing, had braved a strange attack by firehawks and a manticore. Days later, Adria spotted a shipwreck along the coast.
Still has sails hanging off. Think it's recent?
One sail still rigged. She may well have run aground in that storm we just passed.
If sailors are stranded, we have a duty to assist.
And if not, salvage rights.
You go ahead. I'll stay here. So the party set out in a rowboat to investigate. Just before reaching the shore, though, they spotted some Samakun boarding the wreck through a hole in the side.
Can they even survive out of water?
Virtually none of the aquatic species, other than the Illud, are fully amphibious, able to breathe air as well as water. But most of the humanoids have ways of surviving out of the ocean for up to an hour. Certainly long enough to rummage around in a ship, maybe do a fight or two, before diving back in for a few minutes to remoisturize. Pulling up on the beach, the heroes note countless tracks, footprints partially washed away, many leading off into the jungle. There are also several crude graves, marked with stones. But the cargo ship, the Wispy Lass, was stuck leaning inland, so using the rocks, it was not that hard to climb up from this side. Or float up. Or float up on Adria's disc. Nobody on deck to greet us.
You think the crew all went inland?
I mean, based on those footprints...
Into the jungle. That would be dangerous.
The vessel looked abandoned. The main cargo hold lay open, 2 of the masts were smashed, and the aft castle, where the captain's cabin lay, had a door swinging open. That's where I'm going.
Me too.
Adria and Jinx started to move aft when a woman's scream from below decks drew everyone to the edge of the open cargo hold. You see yellow-orange Samakun moving in the dark, among crates of cargo which broke loose during the storm. You can't see who screamed, though it looked like a couple of fish people were running aft.
So are we trying diplomacy, or drop your weapons or die, and I leap down at them? Mind thrust!
Kinda sounds more like drop your weapons and die. Not sure this counts as trying diplomacy.
We tried to try.
I mean, I could turn into one of them, try to infiltrate, but I'd be worried Misha would get mixed up and tear me apart.
This is a dwarven ship. These fish people aren't supposed to be here, regardless of what's going on with the woman.
They're pirates, says the mercenary. Blue's target resisted his psychic attack, but Misho pounced on one of the looters, tearing them to shreds. From the main deck, Jinx began her inspiring song again, just before Samakun swarmed Misho from among the crates, unleashing a barrage of claw and bite attacks, while one battle-hardened fish person attacked him more deliberately, with a conch shell warhammer. Out of the 3 of them, though, the only attack that got through was a single claw for 4 damage. Alright, second hammer-armed Samakun gets to act, and you're the only one down here, so I guess Uhamisho's Mr. Target right now.
That's fine. He kinda knew that when he jumped down.
They flank you and hit for 7, but at least you guys have targets now. Lots of targets.
I'll shoot one.
Miss.
The ones without weapons roll more attacks, more chances to hit. So I'll claw this one, dead, then claw the other one, miss, so I'll bite him instead. Hit!
Those 2, as you guessed, are minions, so they each die in a single hit.
How do they taste? Very salty. Still better than those soap birds.
I can barely reach down there, so I'll jump down onto this crate to cover more area, and I'll slash this hammer guy. Spend a charge from my piercer cloak to deal plus 1d6 damage from higher ground. Take 20.
Plus 2 for my song?
22! That severely injured him, but the ones with hammers are fairly tough. Then, a minion who is hiding over here throws a net over Pelor. You are now entangled, and seeing this, another one charges you from back here. Reach attack! AC 13? Afraid that's a miss, and it claws you for 4. But Pelor spots someone with long black hair fleeing down the stairs to the lower hold, with a pair of Samakun in pursuit. Hey, wait up! We're coming to help! A minion runs up and tries to immobilize Misho with a net, but the raging beastman proves far too strong. Blue knocks back one of the tougher Samakun with a fire blast, while Jinx moves around upstairs and snipes the minion who had netted Pelor. Pelor still has penalties until he can get free of the net, but with nobody holding the rope, at least you can move around. The remaining Samakun activate their own version of Rage to try to match Uhumisho, attacking with hammers, claws, and fangs. But he deals 13 damage with an attack of opportunity, Adria shoots another one for 6, and when his own turn comes up, Misho crushes all 3 of them.
I'm just whirling around Tasmanian devil style.
Why would anyone walk into melee with that? Good question, which is why this one attacks you instead. Take 4.
I mind thrust him.
And it dies. There are definitely more enemies moving around in the darkness, but they're all retreating or hiding in the face of such violence. As soon as they're out of combat, Pelor pulls off the net, and Misho tries to hunt down a Samakun he'd heard moving around the forward part of the hold. But before he got anywhere close, it dived out the gaping hole in the hull, slipping back into the sea.
Well, I'm still raging for a few more rounds, so I'll charge down the stairs after them.
Yeah, let's go save that lady, who is definitely not some kind of siren or other trick.
No, of course not. I head down too.
I'm going back to search the captain's cabin. Looks like a beast boy can handle whatever's left. Better pair up, just in case. Adria's hopes of finding valuables in the officers' quarters were somewhat dashed as the cabin was already ransacked. Detect magic. The basic spell would make magical items or enchantments appear as glowing auras to the casters, but only for visible items, not if hidden under a blanket or in a drawer. So they started searching. Wait, what's with this chest? The small wooden case lay open, the lock not forced, but its padding had a round, concave indentation. What a strange glow. The box, the fabric here, they aren't enchanted. No, it's almost like something powerful was kept here. Well, I found some kind of ship's log over there. The last entry just scribbled, "The captain has taken it into the jungle. We have no choice but to follow." Taken what into the jungle? Doesn't say. Jinx, what are you looking for? Same as you. Anything interesting? I'm quite a lot older than you. I've known a lot of people who were hiding things. A lot of secrets. Huh? I'm not a psychic. Maybe I'm wrong. But I feel like you are looking for something. Maybe? What is it you need to find so badly? I honestly don't know. I just need to find something amazing. Something nobody's ever seen before. So I can be the one who discovered it. It sounds stupid. So you just want to get famous? Not exactly. That's not so unusual. But then, what are you hiding? If you see secrets everywhere, well, it takes one to know one, doesn't it? I don't...
Hunger! Food! Feed!
Adria? Did you hear something? No? Oh, there it is. Misho, Blue, and Pelor had rushed down the stairs, following cries for help, which had now stopped. Think they got her? Or that she's hiding?
Or those screams were some kind of trap.
The lower hold had far more cargo left. Pyramids of crates piled to the ceiling and lashed to the trunks of the masts. Most of the rigging had held, but a number of boxes from the high side of the ship had come loose in the crash, sliding down toward the landward side, where the hull had splintered around rocks in multiple places. Yeah, I think the wispy lass has sailed her last.
I'll go left, you go right.
Right flank? Sure.
I'll take the middle then.
Are you climbing up on the crates, or...?
I got strength 7. I ain't climbing anything.
Misho, running down the high side past one of the few crates that had remained strapped there, you find several Samakun pounding at the wall, the outer hull, with hammers, plus a couple trying to help with whatever metal tools they could find.
hammering the wall? They want to flood the hold with water. It would help them move around.
And they could just float out all these wooden crates. That's kind of smart.
No waiting around, then. Pounce!
Ooh,
Good initiative, too. Initiative, huh? As always, Blue's waiting to see what happens.
the totemist leaps on one of the non-minions, again using his Landshark Boots Soul Meld to get 4 claw attacks, plus his bite as part of the charge.
Takes 16, then 10 damage.
These guys are pretty tough, so he's still standing.
Then, wow, max again. Another 16.
Dead.
Well, I can't change targets on Pounce, so I just keep ripping with my bite and my 4th claw attack.
I'll slash this guy. The group next to Misho is next. The ones who just watch him tear that guy to pieces. This one charges Pelor. Reach attack. Dead. Not the brightest, are they? They can see he has a reach weapon, but they're hand-to-hand fighters. In order to overcome the threat, they have to work together. But with combat reflexes, I get up to 4 attacks of opportunity. Well, most people only get 1 per round, and unlike your glaive, your talent is not visible to the naked fisheye. Not until they see it in action, anyway. This one tries to net you from range, and rolls a 1. He actually nets himself. This Samakun's not going to charge, because she doesn't want the AC penalty. But she's still going to move up to attack Pelor. Attack of opportunity. Dead. And the rest of this group fail a morale check. This is stupid. So these two will pull back instead, try to regroup. As for this other group, though, this minion is going to charge Blue, leaping down off the crates, and miss.
Miss Blue? Even with the charge bonus?
Rolled a 2.
I just stand here, watch him fall on his face.
Other Samakun surround and attack Misho, one clawing him for 4, another hitting with a net. Critical net? What happens when they crit with a non-damaging net attack? I guess Uhumisho is so entangled that you're actually immobilized.
Doe? The guy who netted Uhumisho? Make a reflex save.
He's saved. And minions, as we know, take no damage on a successful save. But his strength check against being smashed into the wall... Oh, he passed that too.
So he takes nothing. Spent 3 points for that, equivalent to a 2nd level spell.
The enemies with hammers continue just whacking at the sturdy wooden beams. It doesn't look like they'd be making much progress against the ship's timber. But then you hear a loud, splintery thump from the other side. Oh shit.
That can't be good, and I'm completely immobilized.
Yes. Plus being entangled gives you -2 to hit, -2 AC. This guy is still within your reach though.
I'm going to prioritize ripping apart the net. I'm raging, have +6 from strength. I get total of 20.
Player's Handbook says bursting a net with strength is DC 25.
What?
Yeah, looks like a escape artist with Dex is only DC 20.
I guess I should have done that.
So that's your turn, unless you have a move action you want to use that doesn't involve moving, because immobilized.
Now I wish I'd used my Warp Panther Soul Meld today.
I'm gonna go spearfishing. I'll finish off net guy. Pelor moves deeper into the hold, polearm at the ready, but still searching for that fleeing woman. The one beside Blue full attacks, but the goblin reacts with his displacement amulet, spending all 3 daily charges for a 40% miss chance for 1 round, which actually stops both the Samakun's claws. So despite Blue having neither armor nor agility, he only gets bitten for 3 damage.
Well, that worked out pretty well.
With Misho trapped in a net, the one holding the rope moved around to garrote him, while the others swarmed. The sneak attack garrote misses as you thrash around, but take 5 bludgeoning and a bite for 3.
He bit me?
Big mouthful of fur.
Well, I'm bloody dead. I fire push Hammer Dude.
Really? Not the guy next to you?
Nope. I still have 20 hit points. Misho's stuck and getting beat up.
He makes his reflex save for half, and also makes the strength check.
I can't do shit if they keep saving against everything. I'm gonna move over here next to Pelor. I still have the 40% miss chance against the opportunity attack.
It misses again.
You're gonna be my big buddy.
Just stand next to the blender.
This bear hack at the wall some more, but this time, the answering thud from outside makes big cracks in the hull. The Samakun scatter as water starts to spray in. It's flooding the hold. Well, not enough to affect you guys. Not yet, anyway.
Are Are you okay, Adria?
Hunger! Food! Inside!
It's the magic jacket I looted from that old man in the halfling warrens. It lets me eavesdrop on nearby telepathic messages. We'd better get down there. I cast the expeditious retreat. As you run out of the cabin, though, a net is thrown at you.
Nets are bad.
With mage armor, my touch AC's 17.
Afraid he got you. You are entangled. Not immobilized like Misho, but you're tethered to this guy by 10 feet of rope until you can get out or pull it away from him or something.
Well, I already acted this round, so I'm practically out of the battle. I'll pull out my shortbow, duck out the door, and shoot.
He falls off the aft castle. Adria's still entangled by the net, still has the penalties, but with nobody holding the rope, at least she can move wherever she wants. Man, I should learn how to use a net. Be like one of those spear and net gladiators. I'll take out the guy who was attacking Blue before. That's a miss. This guy thinks he's amazing. All these spells keep flying past, because they weren't aimed at him, and now he dodges Pelor after what happened to those other guys.
I'm below half health, but they haven't seen me get really angry yet. I spend an extra shift, activate my single-use shifter braid, and grow to large size.
Now you pissed him off. The Samakun surrounding Misho are physically pushed back as he bursts free.
The one who threw the net is probably no threat anymore, but he has to die. Then I bite the one who bit me, and I use my remaining claw attack on the hammer guy. Minimum damage, which is 12 now.
Now he's bloodied.
I'm basically out of resources for the rest of the day, raging, shifting, whatever. But for right now, I'm full beast mode.
Water is still spraying in, pooling a little in the aft portion of the hold, which was lower due to the ship's tilt. But some of the inflow was leaking back out the other side from gaps where the rock outcroppings had pierced the hull during the crash. The crack in the hull has widened enough for a large shark to slip through. I mean, it's a regular shark, just 9 feet long, but that still looks big and scary to all of you. Except maybe Misho.
Alright, let's wrestle.
It's actually not in a good position to attack anybody right now, but as the water continues to rush in, you're guessing it'll be able to reach farther next round. You do, however, hear a new cry from the woman you were looking for. A wet cry for help.
We're trying! Sharks don't just swim into dangerous holes. Who do you think's controlling it?
The Samakun have some kind of connection to sharks. The animals never attack them, and according to the stories, some of them can actually command sharks directly.
It's not just stories.
Bite! Jump! Feed!
This wounded Samakun enrages, hammering Misho for 8 damage and following up with a bite for 3.
Wow, I'm not quite dead. Though in 2 rounds, when my rage runs out, I'll fall unconscious. I suggest we rescue whoever that is, then GTFO.
Not a bad idea.
Then I'll just blast that guy away from Misho. 10 fire, reflex for half.
He saves again, but still takes 5. Then his strength check against the push fails.
Then he bounces off the wall for another 6 damage and falls prone.
He's on the ground, barely alive.
And still in reach since I'm large.
The shark is half swimming, half being pushed down Pelor's side of the ship by the inflow of water. But then you hear a much deeper crack, shaking the entire ship like the crash of falling trees.
A larger shark.
As a much larger shark's head smashes through the damaged hull section, suddenly water is not spraying, but flooding in. Oh no!
There's always a bigger fish.
Where Pelor is, the water's already shin deep, so he springs up and runs across the crates, though as he gets deeper into the hold, some of the boxes are floating up against the ropes that bind them. Dancing is all about strength and balance. You happen to spot an errant rope hanging taut down through a gap in the floor. Is someone trying to hang on to that, hiding below the deck? I hold my weapons haft down there.
Oh God! Please help me up!
The woman, who is apparently hanging upside down, struggles to hold on as Pelor drags her back up into the flooding hold.
I knew if I dived into the water, I'd be dead. If they didn't sense me, their sharks would. But there was a gap between the deck and the water. I thought I could wait them out, till water started rushing down from above.
She gets all that out in an adrenaline-fueled rush, then seems pretty talked out, coughing and trying to catch her breath. Alright, let's get out of here.
I'll try to finish this guy with a single swipe. Rah! 18 damage.
You smash him through the wooden deck. Oh, jeez.
But then I have to limp away around these crates. I'm dropping at the end of my next turn when my rage ends.
I'm coming. Now, as the water continues to rise up the slope of the deck, the first shark, the smaller of the two, is heading for Pelor. It took a lot of effort to draw her up, so no attack of opportunity, but the shark misses you. It snaps at your feet, but it's more being thrust toward you by wave action than by intent. I backhand it. Stay back, fell beast.
So the big shark is stuck in the wall?
It's coming through. It just didn't quite get all the way last round.
Well, I'll try to blast the smaller shark away from Pelor. Reflex DC 15.
Wow, sharks have crazy good saves. It saves for half, but does get knocked back. That's hilarious.
Of all things, the shark fails a strength check. Well, it takes another 8, and it's prone. If a fish can even be prone.
Shark's fairly tough, but that knockback gives Pelor the option to just run away, if you can outpace the water flooding in.
Well, I'm running.
Yeah, forget this place. The water is rising much faster now, with the party retreating uphill toward the stairs. Now, the huge shark technically fits through these spaces, but that gives it very little room to maneuver, especially in water too shallow to fully submerge this guy. So I'm gonna see how far it gets using shark checks. 50-50 roll. Even, it goes where it wants. First, to get through here, odd, so it smashes into the crate, slowing it down. Second check to get through this gap. Nope. It gets halfway through here, but needed to pass all 3 to attack Pelor this round. Wondering if I should try to stab it, or just get the hell out. Get the hell out!
I hit the small one for 13, and it's still kicking. How many attacks do you think that thing can take? Get out.
We gotta go! Making balance checks and dodging falling cargo, Pelor leads the woman across the crates to the bottom of the stairs. Misho's already there, but Blue is falling behind.
Short legs. I'm covering our retreat.
We're at the top of the stairs, ready to heal you.
My turn? I barrel up the stairs before my adrenaline wears off and I pass out.
Wait, why exactly is he about to pass out again?
At the end of my turn, the duration on my barbarian rage wears off. The hit points I get from bonus constitution will go away, and I'll drop from 3 hit points to, well, -3.
But then, can I get a heal of opportunity? I spend all 3 daily charges and heal Misho for 25.
Oh, I skid to a stop.
Turn around, run back down.
Well, all my buffs are still expiring, but I'll be conscious with double-digit hit points left, so at least I'll have options. Thank you.
I can smell the wet dog. One Samakun dropped down and clawed Blue as the goblin moved away at full speed, blasting the 9-foot bull shark for 6. But a Samakun hammerer gave chase, not stopped by a slash from Pelor, and they conk Blue for 10.
I should have just ran. I'm down to 6 HP.
Shark check! Even! The massive great white moves smoothly through this gap. Second check fails, colliding with the cargo over here. Actually, this minion, who attacked Blue last round, fails a reflex save and is crushed by the massive shark.
That's great.
Great, except it's only 1 shark check away from attacking you. Third check fails, so it rams into this junk here. But its movements cause the flooding water to slosh around, pushing the smaller shark up to here. I escaped from the net last turn. Now I run down and jump onto these crates back here. Then shoot to that fishman for 5. Come on, Blue, move those tiny feet! Pelor slashes the tough Samakun for another 7, but the woman he saved is not waiting around. She continues right up the stairs.
I don't know who you are, but thank you.
The wounded shark bites Pelor for 7 right back, more than Blue's current hit points. But Blue blasts the hammer guy away from him and wades his way to the bottom of the stairs. Shark check? Odd. Big Shark lunges, overshooting on a failed 50-50 check, though Pelor's opportunity attack fails to pierce its thick hide, and the Samakun makes a reflex save, narrowly avoiding being crushed by the predator's bulk. But its head is right near you now, with 2 more chances. Shark check number 2 fails, smashing into these crates over here. Check number 3, even. It manages to twist around and finally chomp Pelor. This will probably be anticlimactic, but it definitely hits. You're one of the people who rolled crazy stats. You have a ton of hit points, right, Pelor?
I mean, my max hit points are pretty... yeah?
Take 15 damage. Whoa, that's an entire me.
I'm still standing. Barely. I'm at 4 hit points.
And now you have to worry about the shark's attack of opportunity. I'm going to spend all 3 of my healing belt charges on Pelor before running back up the stairs. You heal 23.
Cool.
Run for it! Ukumisho spots one last Samakun sneaking around on the top deck. Probably came with the one who netted Adria, but chose not to engage when he saw his buddy immediately shot.
Rah! Looks clear up top.
The smaller shark is going to get a bite at Blue.
Come on, I'm feeling lucky.
You've got 11 AC.
I think it's gonna miss me.
That's a hit. Take 6?
Damn. That puts me at 0 then.
Pelor sees Blue fall, being dragged back by the shark, and slashes it for 8 damage, snatching up the goblin as the near-dead animal squirms away.
Come on, tumbling. Uh-oh.
That's not good enough, so Jaws here bites Pelor for low damage, only hits for 11.
Shit. And the other one?
AC 16? That's a miss! The stairs don't feel quite as sturdy as before. They've taken a little damage, but Blue's weight is not even a factor as you fight through the pain. You're able to get 2/3 of the way up. Everybody else is clear, but as the massive beast thrashes around, you'll need to make a reflex save to reach the safe deck as the wooden stairs crack and start to collapse under you. 14? Good enough! Combat over!
What about that fish asshole down in the water with them?
I'll roll him a couple saves. 1, 2... No, he survives.
Ah, damn it.
I think that giant monster is stuck. I can hear the Samakun shaman's commands trying to calm it down.
Can you pinpoint his location?
No, the code only lets me eavesdrop. No direction.
Well, if that big one is truly stuck in the hold, that would certainly be a good thing.
Having fought off fish people, used up all their healing, and found no treasure beyond regular commercial cargo, the heroes boarded the rowboat, heading back to the Sea Wing with nothing to show for their efforts. Except Malira, the sailor Pelor had rescued.
Do those waves look like shark fins to you?
Everything looks like a shark fin right now.
I think that's the paranoia kicking in, but I don't see shit, because I'm unconscious.
When they get back to the ship, Brother Anvil revives Blue while they catch up to God and Captain Sana. Then, they turn to Malira.
What happened to your crew?
Where did they go?
And why did you stay?
The Wispy Lass sailed out of Frehafen almost 2 months ago, but we hit something in the storm.
You hit something? Or something hit you?
Like a really large shark?
And our helmsman and her friend panicked and went overboard. So the ship ran aground, hard. We were lucky most of us survived. But stranded here, the crew started to get weird. Captain Parr wanted to follow that stupid orb.
Orb?
The captain kept saying, the orb will make us all rich. And for some reason, they all started to believe him. So after the crash, when it became clear we couldn't repair the Wispy Lass on our own, the damn fool led them all into the jungle. All of them. I can't understand it. These are dangerous wilds. No settlement within 200 miles. Our only chance of rescue was to keep that last sail rigged and hope another ship would spot it and save us. Anyway, I didn't know that as soon as the others left, those Samakun would raid the ship.
Goddamn salty fish people.
But hold on, you guys had the orb before the ship crashed?
Captain Parr did. I don't know where he found it, but I assumed he was going to sell it in the next port. Glowy usually means valuable, but otherwise I don't see what was so special about it.
But the rest of the crew were obsessed with this orb?
What about the helmsman?
Well, she and her friend were totally...
The same helmsperson you say panicked during the storm. So they crashed the ship,
No, the orb made them crash the ship. The orb wanted to get to the jungle. You think it has its own will?
Everything points to some kind of magical influence.
Malira goes quiet with a blank expression.
I cast empathy. Lets me sense surface emotions in a 30-foot radius of me. Ha! I got 27 insight. 27? It's one of my good skills.
You can tell that Malira had felt relieved, but that relief is rapidly turning into worry, even guilt.
Survivor guilt?
Well, it makes sense she'd be worried about her crew.
Whoa! I got a natural 20 for insight. Hold on then. After Blue shares his empathy info, I've got a little extra note for Adria.
I mean, she seems legit to me. What do you think, Adria?
Oh, I think we can trust her. As much as I trust anyone. Also, Blue, you sense that Pelor wants to dance.
I do, kinda.
I didn't realize the stupid orb might be responsible for crashing the ship. If I'd known, damn it, I would have stopped them from leaving the beach with it. Somehow, I thought I'd finally found a home on the Wispy Lass. Why did I let them go?
Hey, don't beat yourself up, Malira. I mean, there were dozens of them. If they were all so determined...
And by determined, he means magically compelled.
How could you have stopped them?
How indeed. I'm very interested in this orb.
Me too.
If it left that residual magic we detected, it must have been powerful. If this orb wanted to get somewhere in the jungle, I think we should stop it.
Stop it and, do some research on it.
Bah, sounds like trouble.
Captain Chisel and her officers were also interested by Malira's account, but not for the same reason as the PCs. How dangerous do you think the crashed ship is now?
There's a gigantic pissed-off shark in the hold. Other than that, it's fine.
But the lower hold, you said, and the upper hold is still mostly full. Why are you so interested? Aren't you already full of cargo? You've never worked in shipping, have you?
No.
Define shipping.
All cargo has some intrinsic value, but the real value is in how rare that cargo is where you sell it.
Which means the greatest value of the cargo comes from distance.
If you buy black pepper in Tark and sell it in Larik, you might make a small profit by haggling. But the price per weight is low because it's from the same region. Yet if I sail that same pepper to the east coast of Talaris, I can sell it for 5, 10,
maybe 20
times as much because it's a rare spice for them. Then I pick up a load of elven coriander and the reverse is true. There, it has some value. But if we are willing to brave a storm or two and sail a couple months back to Tark, it's worth a fortune because they don't grow it in Tark.
Or in Larik.
Your survivor said the Wispy Lass sailed from the Elven lands. We are more than a month from there, and Port Stormsmith is only days behind us. Their cargo may look mundane to you, similar to what we already have aboard, but the distance they sailed makes it precious. If we could fill even half our hold and sail back,
even if we had to abandon half our local cargo on the beach here,
we could sail it back where we came from and make 2 months worth of profit in mere days.
That is all true, but I did pay you a significant sum for passage, in advance, mind you, and that was predicated in part on speed.
Yes, I understand, Jagad. Obviously, we would refund a significant portion of your fee and still get you where you are going, but this extra profit, if the goods are as described, would be significantly more than what you paid, so much that it would be irresponsible to my crew for me to ignore it.
Oh, of course. I am not trying to be unreasonable, but we would have to agree on fair compensation.
If you're making all this extra money, though, couldn't we use that to fund our expedition?
We must be getting some share of the profits out of this deal. In fact, if you want us to go back in and secure the wreck again, if that shark gets loose or those fish pirates come back, I would think we'd get the larger share.
Except the cargo is worth nothing to you without my sheep. Who will you sell those crates to on the beach? You'd need to get them to a port.
And this would cost us a week? Then why don't we forget it and keep going?
Ultimately, we do not have much say against a captain at sea. It's her ship. Well, hold on. It sounds like we're talking a lot of money. We and Captain Sana, we're all on the same side here, aren't we? Huddle up, guys. There's also a magic orb. Those sailors can't have gotten far with it.
I've been researching our expedition a long time, and I think the hidden city is the real prize. But I have to admit, I am intrigued to learn about this orb. Its origin, its purpose.
Yes, we could stay here and hunt down the orb while the captain sells the salvage, then meet back up in a week.
We're adventurers, right? Bringing back magical stuff is our whole deal.
Exactly.
I suppose we ought to at least confirm what it is. Figure out if it's something dangerous. And in any case, the crew of the Wispy Lass won't survive the jungle on their own. I've just been drifting this whole time. I think I need to decide what I am, who I am. Maybe I can be someone who saves people.
Is there a strict timeline to find the magic city, Jigad?
Not really. Honestly, I just prefer fast travel to slow. Most of us don't live forever, but mysterious artifacts are kind of what I live for. At the moment, speed is more a negotiating point.
And we can help out Sana. Everybody wins.
All right, Captain, let's negotiate. And you all level up.
Next time on Tales from My RPG Campaign.
It's going somewhere else. It's not going the right place. The orb will make us all rich.